It was just another quiet evening in the woods, until the moment my dog froze, staring at something unseen in the tall grass. That's when I realized training him to detect danger wasn't just a skill. It was a matter of life and death. It was a late summer afternoon, the kind where the forest air feels thick and heavy, and the sun filters down in patches through the dense canopy. I was out walking Max, my loyal dog, along the familiar trail behind the house, a route we'd taken hundreds of times. But this time, something was different. Max, usually eager and carefree, suddenly froze. His body stiffened, ears perked up, and his eyes locked onto a spot in the tall grass by the path. At first, I thought it was just a squirrel or a rabbit, but Max didn't move. There was a strange tension in the air, a silence that swallowed the usual forest sounds. Then I noticed a subtle flick of movement, barely visible among the weeds. A snake, its sleek body coiled and ready to strike. My heart pounded, breath caught in my throat. I knew it was venomous from the shape of its head, but the terrifying truth was that I had no idea how close we had come to danger. Max hadn't barked or lunged. Instead, his instincts had warned him well before I even saw the snake. I realized then that he was my first line of defense. But was he prepared? Could he protect me if the snake chose to attack? I felt a cold wave of fear mixed with determination. I couldn't leave our safety to chance anymore. That day marked a turning point. The forest was no longer just a peaceful place to explore. It was a battleground filled with hidden threats. I knew I had to take control, to teach Max not just to obey commands, but to truly understand and respond to danger. The stakes were high. One wrong step, one unnoticed warning, and the consequences could be fatal. From that moment on, training Max to be snake-savvy became an urgent mission. It wasn't just about keeping him safe. It was about trusting him with my life. The bond between us had grown deeper, forged by the silent understanding that in this wilderness, awareness could mean survival. The first encounter was just a beginning, a chilling reminder that nature's quiet dangers demand respect and vigilance. After that chilling encounter, I knew training Max would be no ordinary obedience lessons. This was about sharpening his instincts, teaching him to recognize danger lurking in the underbrush before it could even strike. But how do you train a dog to detect something as silent and sneaky as a snake? The first step was to tap into Max's natural senses. Dogs rely heavily on their powerful noses. So I started by introducing him to the scent of snakes, carefully and under strict control. I worked with a trainer who specialized in animal behavior, and together we created a training routine focused on scent recognition. Max was exposed to snake skins and scent samples in a safe environment, rewarded for alerting to the smell with treats and praise. It wasn't smooth sailing. At first, Max was confused. Sometimes he ignored the scent, distracted by other smells or noises. Other times, he got anxious, unsure if this was a threat or just a strange new game. I could see the frustration in his eyes, and honestly, I felt it too. The pressure was on. This wasn't just training for fun, but training for survival. Slowly, things started to click. Max began to differentiate the snake scent from other forest smells. He learned to freeze and bark softly, signaling he'd found something unusual without provoking it. The breakthrough came during a practice session in the woods when he stopped dead in his tracks, staring into the grass with laser focus. I couldn't see anything, but he didn't budge. Later, I discovered a small snake hidden just inches away. That moment was everything. Proof that training was working. Alongside scent work, we added commands to keep Max calm and controlled around snakes. No lunging, no biting unless I gave the signal. The goal was a guardian, not a reckless protector. Every step of the process deepened the trust between us. I was teaching Max to save both our lives, and he was learning fast. Training a dog to be snake savvy isn't common, but it was our reality now. Every session was a test of patience and perseverance, but with every small victory, I felt the weight of fear lighten. Max wasn't just my pet anymore. He was my guardian, alert and ready for whatever dangers hid in the shadows. Weeks of relentless training had passed, but nothing could prepare me for the moment when Max's skills would be put to the ultimate test. It happened on an ordinary evening, the kind that lulls you into a false sense of security. We were walking the trail again, The sky painted with fading orange and purple hues, shadows lengthening between the trees. Max was alert but calm, moving with a quiet confidence I hadn't seen before. I trusted him now, but deep down, I knew that true trust could only be earned in the face of real danger. Suddenly, Max stopped. His body went rigid, ears twitching like radar. He didn't bark, didn't move closer, just stared intently at a dark patch of underbrush. My stomach tightened. I crept forward slowly, heart hammering in my chest. Then out of the corner of my eye, I saw it, a thick, venomous snake, coiled and ready to strike, less than a foot from where Max stood. The tension was suffocating. I could feel every second stretch, every breath held. Max stayed frozen, the training etched into every muscle. He didn't attack. Instead, he gave a low, warning growl, a sound meant to alert me without provoking the snake. My heart pounded in disbelief and gratitude. This was exactly what we had worked for. I backed away slowly, signaling Max to do the same. He obeyed without hesitation, his eyes never leaving the snake. Once we were safely clear, I let out a shaky breath, overwhelmed by the gravity of what had just happened. That moment validated every frustrating hour, every doubt, every fear that had come with the training. Max had become more than a pet. He was my protector, my guardian against an invisible enemy that could have ended us both. That night, I realized the true meaning of partnership, trust forged in danger, and a bond stronger than fear. Training a dog to be snake savvy wasn't just about teaching commands or scent recognition. It was about survival, instinct, and the unspoken understanding that sometimes your best defense is a quiet courage, a loyal friend. True protection comes from trust, patience, and preparation. By nurturing instincts and strengthening bonds, even the quietest guardians can become powerful defenders against unseen dangers.